This video I'll be showing how we prepare our Tigard estates. We didn't manufacture the first set of Tigard estates that we've been installing. We had to order them from a different vault company. We now produce our own, but these need to be installed first. When we manufacture our vaults, we pour the vaults with the seals already installed. This vault company doesn't install their seals because I believe these vaults are stored outdoors. I don't see why else they'd put this black heavy-duty sealant paint on the exterior. But they're still a high-quality Tigard vault. The only thing I really don't like about them is they keep the handles on the top of the lid. And putting the seal in afterwards is more difficult. To install the seal afterwards, we use a heavy-duty adhesive and apply that into the groove of the lid, which is what just stripped on my arm, and that's probably going to be a bald spot. And we let that cure for a little bit, and while we wait, we use a color match spray can to spray where the concrete meets the liner. This just cleans it up and makes it so that we don't have to get any paint over the top lip of the base of the vault. Oftentimes that will splatter and paint will get onto the liner and it doesn't look as good. So far we've only sent out estates that are in silver, copper, and gold. And don't judge my paint job too much. Every time we paint one of these estates that we got from a different vault company, we have to do at least 2 coats. The heavy-duty black paint that they put on the exterior, it's really hard to paint over. It's almost like using water-based paint over oil or vice versa. It always takes at least 2 coats. Painting our concrete vaults that we manufacture is generally pretty easy because they're not pre-painted with a sealer on the exterior. But once we've given that adhesive on the groove of the lid time to dry a little bit and get tacky, we can go ahead and install the seal. We press the seal into the groove of the lid, and with a Tigard seal, they're just slightly larger because the groove of the lid is slightly larger than a Wilbert vault. And here in a minute, you'll see why we set the lid down onto the base before removing that protective cover on the seal. Sometimes if the adhesive isn't applied evenly, or if I just didn't give it enough time to cure, the seal will want to fall out of the lid. Now the seal itself is adhesive, but we're basically using the adhesive to make sure that the seal stays into the lid until it's time to seal it. Once it's pressed down, it will not come out of that lid for anything. This also creates a really nice groove in the seal, so when it is time to seal this burial vault, there will already be a slight groove in the seal, and we're always sure to double check to make sure we remove that protective film off the seal. If that was still on, the vault would not seal properly. And here in this portion of the video, you can see that indentation that's setting the vault down left in the seal, and when that goes down over the lip, it'll grab all around both sides of the base of the vault. Yeah, let's get that extra piece of protective tape out of there. Now they say in construction, measure twice, cut once. Being a burial vault guy, it's double checking everything for safety measures and to make sure our vaults perform properly. And to keep the vault from sealing and transport and storage, we use corner supports that separate the lid from the base, and we use paper over those to make sure that the adhesive seal doesn't stick to them. It's really important that the vault doesn't seal before we're ready. Basically, if a vault seals, it's done. Oftentimes when we do disinterments or something is forgotten in a casket or something is forgotten to be placed in a vault, if we attempt to pull the lid off, even if it's just minutes after sealing, what most of the time happens is the vault liner is pulled away from the concrete rather than the seal failing. And that's a type of pressure that would never be applied in nature. I once worked a disinterment from 1964 that required a new vault. We suspended the vault by the hooks on the lid from the crane overhead, and that seal was still adhered so much that the weight of the base and the casket of the interior would not separate when being held onto with chains by the lid. And that is how we prep a Tigard estate.